Man, you're listening to the Urban Sports Scene and Bowie TV Commanders Recap Show. I'm Wole, and I'm joined by Bowie TV's Watch the Commanders reporter, Candi Waller. What's going on, Candi?
Hey, Wole.
Hey, it's a good one, man. A big win. The Watch the Commanders defeated the NFC East leaders, the Philadelphia Eagles, 36-33. But before we get into the game, let's knock out some logistics. Subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, and other podcast platforms. Just search the Urban Sports Scene. Also, subscribe to the Urban Sports Scene and Bowie TV YouTube channels. Hit this recap show is being streamed on both channels. So hit that red subscribe button. Also like this video and also comment when you get a chance to. And you comment on both channels, man. Does well for the Commanders algorithm too as well. So go ahead and comment, like this video, and it gets up there in the search engine as well. So just make sure y'all do that. And don't forget to tweet us at Urban Sports Scene. Hit us up on IG and TikTok at Urban Sports Scene. And like our Urban Sports Scene Facebook page. Also join our Urban Sports Scene Facebook group. Search Urban Sports Scene, sports bloggers, sports podcasters, and sports debates. All right. Mention the score, 36-33 Washington. Exciting game. Just getting my voice back, getting my life situated. You know what I mean? But Candi, I want you to answer this for me because I used to cover games, but I just want to know, man. When the Eagles started this game 14-0, what was the mood in the press box?
It was definitely a mood of, frustration or just like, come on, because the Eagles were making it it looked really easy, right? Yeah. On the pregame, I was talking about the emphasis on defense and playing 60 minutes. And so I was instantly like, how you going to start off? Like you started off so well Thursday night football, so but it was rough. It was a rough watch. Brian Robinson's fumble, because the offense had good field position.
The
offense had good field position, and they just weren't able to turn it around. And then for the Eagles just to come right on out, offensively and be so stout. I mean, like I said earlier, right now it was like they're the hottest team in the league, and they were showing that.
Yeah.
And they were much more physical. Mm-hmm. And I remember sharing the Thursday night football game was intense. I might have been posted like scuffle number 4 just happened or scuffle number 5. Like this is really This is heated.
It was.
And it was mean. Like it was getting downright vicious. Hence, CJ getting kicked out.
Yeah.
Because it was that type of time and it was that type of energy.
Yeah.
And the Eagles were they were so physical that it was like, man, they were getting beat.
Let's beating them up. Let's keep it buck. Let's beating them up.
They were getting beat up. That was what they were getting beat up. Yeah. That's exactly what it was. When you watch it, like you watching a fight and you like, dang.
Yeah.
Dang.
It was.
Dang. I mean, all the way around.
Mm-hmm.
And, we talked earlier about the fact that Jayden was injured, right? In the Thursday night football game and all that. And it just looked bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So the vibe was definitely like, we knew this game would look different, but not in this way. None of us were expecting the way it started out at all.
Yeah. It was definitely annoying just watching it because that was the first thing that came to my mind. Like, you getting bullied, you know what I mean? Just
they was getting
like you being outplayed, you just getting bullied, and I didn't like that. Like that's what struck me. Like I can do getting beat by a better team. I can do that. Like I can do that, and just because it's just like my sports background, I can do getting beat by a better team. But I can't do being bullied. Like I can't get punked. You know what I mean? And that's what's bothering me initially. But it just seemed like after, that touch when they went down 14, they kind of got themselves together, calmed down a little bit, and they got that scoring drive. And I think it settled them down a little bit more. But their physicality got better. Like at least the physicality. People were talking about how Jalen Hurts went out in the first quarter. But again, the style of physicality, that all plays a part in it, right? Like, I mean, I feel bad for the dude. Like concussions aren't cool for whoever. but the
No.
ground is undefeated. You know what I mean? And Washington, because I've seen Eagle fans come out and say like, well, he got hurt, blah blah. But like at the same time,
Mhm. Mhm.
it's gonna sound bad to say this, but they caused that injury. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
at the end of the day, football is still a brutal sport. So they kind of deserve credit for kind of knocking them out the game. If that makes any sense. So, but yeah, I'm with you. But for the first 14, like the first 14 points, I was like, man, what are we doing here? Like this basically to me it was a replay of the first game.
Yeah, but it was worse
Yeah,
from a
from a
defense.
defense standpoint. Yeah, I
Defense,
agree.
that
Yeah, I
first
agree.
half in Philly, you were like the defense is keeping them in the game.
It's true. This is true.
And
This is true.
today I was like, okay, Joe Witt, now I got to talk. I got to talk about you if I'm going to be objective. Like I said, there's so much scrutiny around
Yeah,
Cliff's play calling and
yeah,
preparedness and this and that. I'm like, you got to give Joe Witt Jr. that same energy right now
yeah,
because the defense was getting smoked.
they were.
They were getting smoked. They really were.
Mm-hmm.
Um, for sure. And the thing that made it, and this is something you said earlier, Wole, was like, hey, Jalen Hurts gonna only throw it to two people.
Yeah, I said this. I'm serious.
AJ Brown, Devontae Smith. That's it. And when you go back and look at the stats, that's it. I mean, he has no fear. Remember, I said before, I said and I've said this on other shows as well. Everyone thought last week was Marshawn Lattimore's first game. Oh, no, no,
That's right.
no, no,
That's right.
no. This is Marshawn Lattimore's first game. No
Yeah.
one's going to care about that. The Saints have respect for him. They have
Uh-huh.
love for him. Yes, they traded him, but that was not going to be your welcome to the NFC East in
Yeah.
the burgundy and gold game. It was going to
Mm-hmm.
be today.
Yeah.
And off the break, Jalen Hurts was like, boop, right at Marshawn. Boop.
Yeah.
Why? Because those his guys.
Yeah.
Anybody does his guy. So he doesn't care. Like
Yeah.
this what they get paid to do. Go up
Mm-hmm.
on the top receivers, gonna go up against the top corners.
Yeah.
So I had a lot of different emotions in watching the first half and even looking at the physicality and having to say, is this a moment where you see the divide in the culture, right? From the
Mm-hmm.
past roster players and the players that they brought in.
Mm-hmm.
And at some point, everybody's gonna have to rise to the occasion.
Yeah.
Even B-Rob, his fumbles, he was just getting beat.
Yeah. That was the first play, the second.
Getting beat. He was
Yeah.
getting smoked. They know how he moved,
Yeah.
and they was just drilling him.
The second fumble, I think that's the second fumble with dude he rushed in and then swiped at the ball. That was a
Yeah.
good defensive play.
Oh, yeah.
But I thought at the end of the day, like fumbles are fumbles, right?
Got to find
I
out.
was like, I would have liked him to sit down a little bit after that, after his his fumbles. But
Yeah.
it just started, and put Chris Rodriguez in the game. At least you
Yep.
lot just to give him just a sense of like kind of calm him down. Because it's out of character. With Wayne
Well,
Bacon said, I know
yeah.
it's out of character. He hasn't fumbled all year.
Yeah, he doesn't do. It's very rare
Yeah,
for him. But I will say,
yeah,
unfortunately, I guess they use some wall, what they call it, bulletin board material
yeah.
when I
Oh,
went
yeah.
on
There
the
you
radio
go.
last week and made the comments about beating them.
Yeah, this good point. That makes
He
sense.
made those
I didn't. You know
comments
what? I didn't think about. I forgot about
at
his
the end of the
comments.
week.
I
So
forgot
it
about
was
his
clear
comments.
it was abundantly clear to me they were
Yeah,
targeting him.
that's
Rightfully
a
so.
good point. I
But the Eagles
forgot
be
about
on
his
that type
comments.
of time. And I remember
Yeah,
I said that. I said in that first game, when the offensive line was talking all that trash when they got B-Rob across, like three,
true.
it was like 4 or so yards, they carried him in.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't tolerating all that trash talking anymore, and they was unleashed, and they started like that today. The Eagles were so aggressive, they were so feisty. You could
We're
tell
aggressive, man.
what was coming out of their mouth was sideways a lot because it was a few conversations going on in all the spaces, and I was like, somebody just gonna slap somebody here soon. I was like, okay. And like I said, there was an ejection, right? And that's
Yeah.
that,
I want to know. I ain't gonna lie. I want to know what old boy. I mean, I want to
it
know what
was
old boy said to
bad.
Biami.
It was bad. I mean, anytime Terry got to walk
Biami shoved
out
him.
and this and all, yeah, it was a lot going on. And then once
Yeah.
Terry took his helmet off and hit him with the this, that, and the third, I said, "Oh God, here we go." Because everybody knows, like, one of my many mottos is, "Please don't make Terry McLaurin mad." Like,
so that's so true though.
those
But you saw
nice
it early.
guys, because he
True.
is super nice guy, but
True.
Terry is not. You know those nice people, like
Shit, I
really
do.
good people. But if you
Mhm.
make them mad, it's
It's a whole
like
different
just
story.
go hide. That's Terry.
I will say, Eric has a good. Well, actually, Paul said this too first, so I'll let me pull up what Paul said. Said that one of the wildest games ever. 5 turnovers and you score 36 in a win. That's crazy. I would never. It definitely would never happen. No shots taken on. I guess it is a shot. I guess it definitely wouldn't happen with the Rivera era.
Yeah,
Eugene.
yeah.
Come
No,
on,
they
man. Like
lost that.
that's not it. That wouldn't even. They wouldn't have the perseverance to come back and win a football game like
No,
that.
they would have lost. They would have been. They would have been done at the half.
Yeah, facts. Um, Eric said 6 turnovers and only 10 more rushing yards than penalty yards and still won. I'm not trying to hear nothing from nobody. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, so on these spaces, I hosted multiple shows on these spaces now. And Eagle fans are real mad. So like they really take it into like if Jalen Hurts would have played, this would have happened. Again, no knock on Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts, has a six, I believe before this game, a 6-2 record against the Commanders.
Mm-hmm.
But he was 1 for 4 with 11 yards. I mean, it wasn't like he was killing the game before this game ended, like, to be honest with y'all. So I mean, he's a like having Kenny Pickett obviously is a benefit. I'm not gonna act like it's not, but it, it's not like we don't know what would happen if Jalen Hurts would have played. That's all I'm saying. He does,
None
and
of
this is
that. I
good.
mean,
Relax, exactly. Let's go
well, I mean,
36
and
points. Jalen
we
Hurts
were
doesn't
saying
play
that.
defense.
Yeah, we were saying that in the press box. Like, who cares, right?
Yeah,
Like, coulda, woulda, shoulda.
I'm saying that
If
too.
Jayden wasn't hurt Thursday night football, who knows what could have happened then?
That's Katie. I've been saying that too. That's what I'm saying. Go ahead,
We
Katie.
can't
Sorry.
do all of that. Like, it is
Yeah,
what it is. I mean, I
yeah.
absolutely agree. Let me be clear with that. I do agree with that statement, but at the same token, it's like, so what? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I will say, I think the overall physicality of the game, though, the Eagles did have a lot of players get hurt.
Yeah,
Like,
within the game.
I was like, yo, the Commanders are giving them a run for that. They getting beat, but they trying. Like, they gonna
They
fight back.
smacking them. They were smacking them. That's what
They
it
gonna
really
fight
was.
back. That's what, like
They were
you said, the
smacking.
previous era. Oh, they just gonna get mollywopped, and
Yeah,
that's it. And be
yeah.
like, when is this over? But this crew right here, they're going to fight
Yeah.
back, and they're gonna talk back. They're gonna fight back. You just you can't just get them down,
Nah.
evidently. And then the Eagles started dropping.
Yeah, so the
Like,
same thing.
they started. It was. I was like, dang, they trying to keep these boys down, and they end up they hurting themselves.
Yeah.
They
I
hurt
kind of like
themselves with them.
that's
But
yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
whatever.
Go ahead, Candy.
I mean, no, I mean, whatever. I mean, I said the same thing. Jaylen looked like he was about to have a fantastic day. It looked like he was going back in the game, but evidently the medical staff on that side of the field felt differently. It was something because he had put his helmet back on. It looked like he was going back out there. So it must have been something that happened that made them say, no, you got to come
Yeah.
back and evaluate it.
Clark. McMillan said Hurts doesn't play defense. Agree. Concussed or not, he doesn't factor into their defense, giving up 5 touchdowns. Totally agree with you, bro.
Yeah, I'm not sure how
Totally
I
agree.
don't know. Somebody's got to have a conversation because while they did have injured players on that side of the football, and I mean, I did say it in the press box. I said they can make a run at this. They can make a run at
With
this,
injury.
for real.
Yeah.
They got some injuries on the defense. They got some injuries. Go ahead and get this done. But they still had enough out there where there was enough of a lead where you just don't.
They're gonna lose the lead.
Give
They
up
had
5.
enough. All right, this is my argument to folks who are like so enamored with like, oh, we had this player. Again, gave up 36 points. That's one. You have the best defense in the NFL, ranked number 1, right?
So you definitely shouldn't
You
have
have
given up.
enough. You have
I don't
enough.
care. I don't care
Washington scored
who's out
30.
there.
You scored 33 points. Eagles. I'm an Eagles. If I'm an Eagles fan, I scored 33 points. I have the best defense in the NFL. I gave up 36. That's on me. Why are you like at the end of the day? Forget like they scored like the Eagles still with Hurts being out, they scored 33 points. Your defense is ranked number 1. You lost.
Yeah.
That's on your defense. So don't bring in this Jalen Hurts argument. Like, you scored 33 points. Sorry. All right. So Dan says, this is a question for you, Candy. Do you think this comeback will this comeback win is a statement game for the Commanders with their resiliency? Can't remember a game winning with 5 turnovers.
So super interesting that you're asking me that question, because that's the question that I had for Dan Quinn. That was one of the Dan Quinn. And I was talking to him about some things, and then I asked that question, and he was like, well, no, he doesn't think it was going to be a statement game. And I'm paraphrasing now, right?
Yeah.
But he to answer the short answer to the question is no, not a statement game, but showing how tough they are. So it's like that resiliency part. Yes. Statement game, no, but he said he wanted it to be a statement game, because he was like, yeah, they won, but he wanted it to be a statement game. That's what he was hoping for, but they had so many mistakes.
Got you. Okay.
So his definition of statement, this was not a statement game, but it does show how tough that they are. So that helped me, even in that dialogue with Coach after the game, to really understand how he communicates. Right.
So he expected a better showing.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
There was way too many mistakes. So for him, that's not the kind of statement he wants to make. When he talks about how tough they are, it was yes, but statement, missed that mark.
Got you. All right, here you go. My man. I thought there is. Is there a way for them to clinch this week, or is it still all about the Falcons? I thought.
It's super confusing to me, because they absolutely have to beat the Falcons, because to my knowledge, if they lose the Falcons have the tiebreaker. So it's hard to me to imagine a space where they win 10 games and they don't make the playoffs. I think it's all about who the seeding, but for certain, it's still the vibe of beat the Falcons. I mean, at the same token, it's like the vibe is beat everybody.
Beat everybody. You were beat the Eagles. It's everybody now.
It's like beat the Falcons and you good, and then sleep on the Cowboys. They want to win out.
Yeah, the vibes beat everybody. They beat the Eagles.
No, I knew that before, but I just didn't want to say it out loud. I was like, okay, but I think it's clear they want to win out. I mean, why wouldn't you? The Cowboys are now eliminated.
Yep.
Right, which is probably a silver lining for many Commanders fans, right? Like, this win actually eliminates the Cowboys and the 49ers. So I'm sure that made a lot of people, made it a bit, more sweet for many. But, the last 2 games are both two of Dan Quinn's old teams.
Oh, yeah. So there's incentives.
Definitely. And then the Cowboys game is a rematch as well.
Yeah, facts. So, still, here you go. I think what did Clark have? Clark said their rookie phenom cornerback gave up his first touchdown against Scary Terry. Yeah. Quinyon Mitchell. Yeah, he sure did.
Quinyon Mitchell. Oh, yes, he did.
Sure did. And I will say this. I do want to add on that. That's what happens when you talk. You said making Terry angry.
Yeah,
he's doing a lot of talking. He's doing a lot of talking after that game.
He was doing a lot of talking. You talking about Thursday Night Football?
Yeah, he's doing a lot of talking.
Oh yeah, Thursday Night Football was a debate. I'm telling you, they are mean. They are mean. I mean, this was Thursday Night Football and today, and I knew this was a feisty bunch. I mean, they going to the Commanders, but the Eagles, I was like, oh, and the line of scrimmage was ugly, for the Commanders' offensive line. The defensive line. So to your point a moment ago, to still give up 5 touchdowns, because they were smart. They were winning at the line of scrimmage, and they still ended up losing. And so I don't know if they went to sleep or what happened, but at some point they should have woke up, because it was kind of funny. I think when did they get the ball back at the end? It was like was it 2 minutes and 30 seconds? I don't know. I just looked at it.
They got the ball back with about a minute and
like
58
2 and a
seconds.
half years, or yeah, something.
A
And
minute 58 seconds left.
I
Yeah.
just looked, because you know how the press box is, and so it was interesting today though, Wole. They had all of Commanders media on one side and all the Eagles media on one side, and I was like, "What are we gonna do in here?
Oh,
Fight?"
for real?
Like, like what y'all think? Some gonna break out in here? Like what's happening out there? Like,
Are you serious?
I mean, maybe it's just how I was set up. Because sometimes, we be spread out.
Interesting.
We was all
Interesting.
on
It's
one
always
side.
like people are like mixed in usually. Like
And I know
last time I
somebody
was there, yeah.
definitely did look back at me when I said something about those DPIs on Marshawn, because I was not necessarily, quiet about that. That was ridiculous.
That was terrible calls.
It's terrible. But like, it was. At one point, it felt like the world wanted the Eagles to win. Like, okay, well, clearly they're supposed to lose. Meaning the Commanders, but they had other plans for today. But I definitely looked around and was like, I am not in Hail Mary mood today.
Yeah, we didn't have to worry about that.
Well, they didn't get right. They didn't give Hail Mary. So
added to Pop 3 said the third says, I mean, Quinyon is still a rookie and lockdown rookie players have bad games and his was today.
You're gonna get beat now. You're not gonna. I mean,
no, I ain't knocking them.
Yeah. It's a hard job. I mean, you can't expect. And I share this with people all the time. You can't expect, like, I mean, that happened to Marshawn today. Okay, I mean, it's just, hey, it's going to happen. It's going to happen to Mikey. It's going to it happens. You cannot expect just never, none. It's just not realistic. It's going to happen. However, Kenyon, he was talking a lot.
Yeah,
and Terry got memory. So
everybody kept saying he shut him down. He was adding on to it. I knew that Terry would be ready for him. I knew he would show him what time it was. But yeah, I like Quinyon Mitchell a lot. So I'm wondering, like, I think he's going to be a sensational corner for years to come. But he was talking. There's one thing what you said, Candy, and I think that has to be put out there. When you talk to Terry, you don't want to do that. I respect the play. How he will let you.
I'm consistent in my messaging.
One of them.
He'll let you in my messaging. I get very, 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 like, when I see out there, get my binoculars and be like, oh, y'all, wait, Terry's mad. Like, he real mad. Mad. I'd be like, Terry McLaurin don't get mad. So if he's upset, if he's angry, that's a bad sign.
Well, for the opposition. It's for the opposition.
It's bad for
it's good for Washington. I ain't gonna hold
everybody else is going to react on that side because that's their boy. So it's like when the cool guy get frustrated, it's like, okay, now we gotta fight. All right, that's cool. Now we gotta throw a few chairs. That's how it is.
Don't talk crazy. We might see y'all in the playoffs. Keep that same energy. The held hurts out. They held hurts out. The team doctor clears him refs. Oh, you said the team doctor.
I'm not sure why they would. Yeah, I'm not sure why they would hold him out when they could have just clinched.
I'm gonna be honest with you, man.
I mean, they would have won the division.
I'm gonna say again. I don't really care. I'm keeping my same energy because I kept this energy after. I'm gonna be real with you. I kept this energy after the Eagles game. The first game. The first game was winning.
Yeah, like, I mean, the reality is somebody's gonna win and somebody's gonna lose.
Yeah.
And who cares? Everybody knows that Jalen Hurts is amazing. So it's like, okay, but if you had the opportunity to win the division today on a team that is clearly a lesser opponent roster-wise, then why would anybody purposely hold him out unless he was really hurt?
And that too. And also, I'm going to add this. Like, y'all didn't say all this stuff when Jayden was playing hurt on that Thursday night game. Yeah. Now all of a sudden, it's like, keep that same. Like, this is what I'm gonna tell y'all. And y'all go back to my pod, like an earlier pod I had. I said this: y'all beat us. We dominated most of that game in Philadelphia, and then Saquon went crazy that last quarter. Like the last few plays, like we was up for most of that game and some change. Actually, third quarter and some change. So in the fourth quarter, we had a lead. Then Saquon went crazy. No one came out. I said this. This is what I said. I said this. After that, I said, I want to see that same type of. I want to see y'all put that same type of work at in Landover here, the DMV. For some of y'all who ain't from the DMV, in the DMV, y'all came here, y'all lost, and it's okay. But I didn't. It's not like it's
Totally
not
fine.
different. Like y'all acted like in Philadelphia, y'all dominated that game. You didn't dominate the game in Philly. Like Saquon took over at the end of the game. That's what happened. So this notion, like, well, you keep the same energy. No, like that game. If you looked at the majority of the Commanders Eagles game in Philadelphia, go back, go watch it. We were dominating that game for the majority of that game. Then Saquon went crazy.
Yeah, I mean it's not a charity when the team you playing had 5 turnovers.
Yeah,
you had 5 Christmas gifts.
Yeah, Paul saying like
win.
Paul agreeing with you. Like that's what he said. Like
That's actually kind of challenging.
yeah.
And and I was going off about Joe Wick. You got to be objective.
Yeah.
Saquon was well on his way to having an extraordinary day and still did. But I think he had 120 some odd yards in the first half and ended the game with 150. That means
he had like 109 in the first half already. Like it was crazy. Right.
So it's kind of like people gotta adjust.
Yeah.
But if you lose to a team with 5 turnovers, they gave you 5 turnovers, and this person is absolute, like this person who's going, this clearly is an Eagles fan that's going off.
But you're right though. Right? They cost 5.
You know what? Absolutely, he's right. Whoever it is absolutely correct, and that's why you need to be irritated with your defensive coordinator.
There you go.
With your team right now, because you're absolutely correct. The Eagles caused 5 turnovers and lost the football game by 3 points. That's unacceptable.
Yeah.
That ain't no gift to the Commanders. That's absolutely what in the heck happened here? Because that should have been an easy win and an easy clinch of the division. Easy clinch. It shouldn't have been a question.
Let me add this into it because this is what your point is awesome. How many points? Again, I'm gonna say this again so y'all can really understand this. Paul saying it for me. You gave up 36 points.
Yeah, that's not good.
You scored 33 points. You have the best defense in the NFL. If you told me, I'm gonna keep it being, if the Eagles scored 33 points and Washington was able to win the game, if the Eagles scored 33 points, I would tell you Washington lost. This is what I would tell you. They scored 36 points. I don't care who your quarterback is. Look, say if you don't know what, and you don't know, because you make it seem like Jayden was 1 for 4, so he ain't like he came in that thing like game busters.
Listen, and the last time I checked, this Eagles fan needs to just deal with the fact that they caused whoever it is absolutely your team caused 5 turnovers and lost. That is unacceptable. You need to holler at your defensive coordinators that are coming on here trying to talk to us. That is pathetic and it's wrong. And a lot of people lost a lot of money today because they put their money on the Eagles because there's no way the Eagles were supposed to lose that football game. Jalen Hurts in or out. Saquon played the whole game.
Yeah.
So there's no excuse for that. You can't cause 5 turnovers and lose.
Let me look at. Let me look at like how many yards did Jaylen? We gassing Jaylen real hard right now. How many yards did Jaylen throw for in the first? I'm really interested how many yards he threw for in the first meeting.
Man, if someone wants to for me,
I'm looking at it right now.
5 turnovers. It doesn't matter. You're supposed to win. Cause 5 turnovers in the team you caused 5 turnovers on scored 36 points.
Mm-hmm. I'm with you.
You got to talk to your defensive coordinator on that one because matter of fact, I didn't get an opportunity to go over there to ask my own questions because I had questions like that. Like, what? Yeah. How did that even happen?
Jaylen, in the first matchup, no touchdown passes thrown.
Yeah.
No interceptions thrown. Threw for 221 yards in a whole game. Yeah, he was different. I don't look, man. I ain't saying like, all right. I'm just saying, it's not like Jaylen is. Y'all talk like Jaylen is freaking Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. I ain't saying like they scored 33 points. That's all I'm saying. Scored 33 points. Be mad at your defense. So you
Yeah,
think
yeah,
that
yeah.
you mad
From a
at your
defensive
defense?
perspective, these kind of games are like, and this is just me being very objective because everyone knows I
Yeah,
cover the Commanders and I grew up in the
yeah,
area. Point
yeah.
blank, period. From a straight up football perspective, absolutely unacceptable to cause 5 turnovers and the opposing team score 36 points. It
Yeah, there you
doesn't
go.
even make mathematic sense. Like, seriously,
Yeah.
when you really do it from a, if you're doing straight numbers mathematically, all of the things, it makes no sense. It's not even supposed to happen in a 60-minute football game. It's like maybe at the most they could have scored like
They score like
the
the
Eagles
most 20 or
lose.
20 at the most. And that's I'm
I was
being
about
generous.
to say 17 or
I'm being
20.
generous.
You can't do that. I mean, come on. You lost. It's in this. If I was an Eagles fan, I'd be very upset. I would
Yeah,
be. But
yeah.
not at Commanders people. It's like, hey man, like they said, the math ain't mathing. Mathematically, that makes no sense to cause 5 turnovers and then the other team score
Yo, the
36.
NFL is rigged now, bro. Like that's we don't. That's
You
what we
cannot
doing now.
believe
Hey,
people
hey,
wanted the
billionaire
Commanders
man,
to win
I like you
today.
though. I will say this, man. I respect anybody who joins the channel, ready to chit chat, shoot the breeze. So
Yeah, no, we need those views.
appreciate you. I do.
And we definitely need those views. But you know, the Eagles are having a fantastic season. Now, here's something I did say earlier in the pregame. I said, well, they got to lose at some point. So, you know, maybe it'll be today.
Yeah,
I was like, I doubt it though. I said, I doubt that be today.
man,
I said, if they were going to lose, then maybe today would be the day they lose, because once they lose when the playoffs start, you go home. At least you decide another week, you know.
It's the Christmas season, man. You know, you got to do something. Thank you. Merry Christmas, man. Appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? Keep it a being. Y'all. Thank you. We appreciate y'all. All right. But you know, I'm gonna start. Look, I'm gonna go to another topic. But I appreciate you though, Eagles fan. I do. All right. I thought this. All right. So I thought this game was won on the back of Jayden Daniels. I put this like it was a Jayden show to me. But
now I will
thoughts, man. Do you agree with that? Do you agree with that?
I will say that Dan Quinn definitely said today was the day he became a heavy hitter. He said, I will say that, like in the response to like my question, and he was talking about other things.
Yeah.
He became a heavy hitter today. And I think the whole entire team is just, I mean, and the word poise has been used so many times to describe Jayden, but it's like his mood doesn't change. Last week when I asked Dan Quinn, or I asked Jayden about how he's staying focused with all of the accolades and awards, and I mean, he's a hot topic all the time, every day. Jayden Daniels. And so I asked, Coach Quinn about that as well, and if he's, what has he observed, and he said that right balance of humility and confidence. Right, because Jayden is an absolute competitor, like phenomenal. Yeah. And when you hear everybody talk about what he brings and that energy, because he's just not going to give up. So when you got a quarterback who's like, this game ain't over, everybody gonna keep playing. Yeah. And he's been in some tough situations this season, right? And he is doing very well, very, very well. So to hear Dan Quinn say, yeah, today, he became a heavy hitter. Like, because if he's doing that in his rookie season, what's going to happen when he becomes a vet?
That's facts. There you go.
So like he's going to understand moments. And they talk about these winning times and these winning moments. He's going to understand what it takes to get there. And it's days like today and other moments that he's already experienced as well. So it's a joy to watch. I mean, I've been saying Commanders fans, hey, listen, I'm a person who only thought that the Commanders were going to win 7 games all season. So at this point, you in the bonus round. So even when I'm watching something, I'm like, what is that? Like the turnovers. That was completely rare.
Yeah.
Totally something we have not seen from this team. 2 from B5. Like this was like, what is going on here? But I do think it was the physicality and just the bulletin board material and all that played, a factor into some of that. But Diami had a fumble. Jayden had a couple picks, didn't he? It was a tip that ended up being an interception, right? And so
picks, they were just him.
Oh, just him, yeah, because that's right. Because that was a bad throw. Yeah, back. The one where he sailed not good on that. That's on Jayden. And then the other tip, well, I think that was the Luke, and that was that one wasn't good either. And so it was bad. And so for him to still come out, and make it happen. We saw some failed plays between him and Olamide Zaccheaus. Yeah. So then for Olamide to come out and still score, because I was about done with Olamide. Like, okay.
I'm gonna be, obviously.
That's what I got. That's what about people too. So I'm like, okay, keep hope alive, everybody.
Yeah. I know. I can say his name, like, because I'm Nigerian. He's like a Nigerian name. And I was telling, I don't know what Zaccheaus. So I can hold you. I don't know his name. I don't know the last name. The last name trying to trip me out. But his first name, I know what it is. And I told folks, I'm disowning him as a Nigerian. Like,
you got to bring him back.
Yeah. Then George, my man George on a post game. I mean, he texted me. I mean, he hit me with a chat. So is he back in good graces with me? And I'm like, yeah. Now he can have all jollof rice. He can have some puff. He can have some fufu. He's back in now. So Olamide Zaccheaus, I apologize, bro. Yeah, because you brought life. You brought joy to my life this Sunday. I ain't gonna lie to you. You brought joy to my life. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, Cliff as a comment says, do you think he has trouble targeting Luke? That's a question.
I don't think he has trouble targeting Luke. I mean, I just think in game is different.
Yeah.
In game is different. It's just in the game is different because they don't have no trouble targeting any of those guys in practice. He didn't have no issues in training camp. I just think that when it finally clicks with Luke, I think it's going to be special.
Yeah.
But it just hasn't happened. It's like right there,
Yeah, I'm playing the violin for you all. Yeah, thanks, man. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate you. All right, so Paul had a good question. Actually, it's on my set of questions. But Paul, great minds think alike. Paul said, injury update, Candi, on De'Ami Brown and also Marshawn.
I saw De'Ami in the locker room. He was laughing at Joker, so I think he's okay. But who Dan Quinn did bring up, of course, was he didn't have an update at the time. Dan Quinn. I haven't checked my phone. In about 30 or so 45 minutes. Well, since whenever I talked to you before we got on here, I hadn't checked my phone since then, so I haven't checked it since we all been on the line. Mm-hmm. But Marshawn, Jordan McGee, and Andrew Wiley all went out with different injuries, hamstring, or I think one of them had a groin injury. So out of those three, they did not come back in the game.
Gotcha.
So I don't know. I guess we'll find out tomorrow.
So you said De'Ami, you'll find. So you said De'Ami looked like he was.
I saw De'Ami. I saw De'Ami. He was laughing jokes. So I'm going to take it. He's okay.
Okay. All right. That's good. It's good to know, man.
I take it that he's okay. I tell people all the time. I saw Jonathan Allen after he got hurt that day too, and I thought he was fine. And then it was like, oh, not fine. So.
He's in good spirits. He's in good spirits. Let's put it that way.
Good spirits, right?
Yeah, he's in good spirits. Yeah, so yeah, I'm interested because I was happy for De'Ami when he had that big play. I just feel like those type of plays are out there for De'Ami. I thought he was having a decent game for the injury, but Olamide definitely stepped up in his absence with some big plays as well. So and also Jamison Crowder stepped up huge in his absence.
When everybody gonna give Jamison Crowder his flowers?
Yeah,
because I don't know if anybody noticed. Going back to Olamide, because he did redeem himself in a mighty way today.
Yes, he sure did.
He did not do any returns.
Yeah, because I'm going to ask you about returning, but I want you to I'm going to let you go. I want to ask you about. I want to talk about something, but I'm going to let you finish up real quick.
Well, no, I'm just saying he did do returns. Right. So Jamison Crowder did, and I was just waiting. And Jamison was, I talked to special teams coordinator Coach Izzo on Friday. And I asked him about Jamison Crowder, but that's from a special teams perspective. But even when we've talked to Coach Quinn about Jamison Crowder, I mean, he is a vet.
Yeah.
And just his personality and how he's able to maneuver in tough situations and make something shake. I mean, a lot of respect for him. And you see they kept him around, right? When that 21, they kept him around through the injury. And everything, and you saw them put him right back at return. And then you saw Luke McCaffrey returning today.
All right, so I'm gonna talk. There we go. So now you're going to the guy I wanted to talk about in return.
Uh-huh.
So, like, I've been actually, wow, since Olamide was struggling, I've been clamoring for this dude to be the returner. To be honest with you, it's not anything I didn't see. It's anything I saw. I just felt like he had good characteristics of a guy I felt like would be a good kickoff returner. But Luke McCaffrey had a total of 184 kickoff return yards, including a 47-yard return. First off, your overall thoughts on his performance, and do you feel like they kind of found their guy in that position, especially with Eckler being out?
I think between him and Crowder, yes. I mean, I've been seeing it for a week. He's been back there at practice doing it for a bit now. After the Steelers game.
Yeah.
He has been back there. And then as well as Kaz Allen, I can tell that now because now, Kaz is on IR. So it's good. I think that's an opportunity right there for Luke because he has the speed. I think a little bit more of the field vision needs to come to play.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And if so, I think he can make it happen because, like you said, that 47-yard, I was like, yes, and of course got caught.
Yeah.
But I think that's a good thing. Yeah. Promising.
I kind of think I like what Paul just said over here. Like I don't think he can play running back, but I kind of get running back vibes the way he runs is physical like a back.
Yeah, he's very physical.
Yeah, I don't think he can play running back. I don't see him like any of his brother, but but he can. He's a physical runner though. That's what I like about Luke McCaffrey. Said Luke looked good. Good return. He did. Just waiting to see him on offense. We all are.
Yeah, it's got to work at some point. Gotta work. They trying. It just
I did like the one play he had, the one reception he had. He had a nice little run with it, run after catch with it. Here you go. Can you please ask Dan, will KJ be ready for next week? KJ Osborne.
Oh, I didn't even know. I don't know. I mean,
yeah, I don't feel like he's a big. Not to say he's not a. I've said this before. I don't feel like he's there for depth. He's just there for depth. Mm-hmm. That's my opinion. He's there for depth. Everybody like there's always a Benjamin St. Juice thing. I'm not gonna pull that up right now. I'm gonna stay positive. I'm gonna leave Benjamin St. Juice alone.
No, I mean we can go there because
he came in and he had one pass break. But then the fourth down plays when he gave up that one to AJ Brown, like he just looks so. Do you think? All right, I'm gonna ask you. I mean, I'm not the biggest Benjamin St. Juice fan. Period. Everybody knows this. I'm not gonna act like I am or not. Like I'm not high on Benjamin St. Juice. I'm not gonna trash him on here. But even with me saying that, do you feel like he lost some confidence though?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Not. I mean. Tough business, right? And you can't, I mean, use your clues, everybody, right? We've seen what's happened with Jamin Davis. We've seen what happened with Emmanuel Forbes. Yeah. We see what's happening right now with Fedarian Mathis, right? Benjamin lost his starting job, right? And you see the drop off in coverage, like you just see it. It was immediate. And I'm not certain because I'm in a good mood. I'll probably watch the TV version tonight instead of waiting to watch it tomorrow of the game.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure at what point you all realized that Marshawn wasn't in the game.
Oh, I realized.
We saw the whole. Like, because it was one of those situations where Benjamin came in, like at the last minute, like, it could have just been like one of those things where they could have gotten a penalty. Marshawn did not want to go out of he did not want to go out of the game, but had to, right? Mm-hmm. And then it was, a drop off in performance. It was an obvious drop. Like what a difference!
It was a drop off.
Like what a difference that Marshawn makes. I mean, Marshawn. Hey, Jaylen wasn't afraid of Marshawn. Pickens
Nah,
wasn't afraid of Marshawn,
no,
right? I mean, this is the matchup. They're gonna throw the ball to their
they got.
best receivers, and that's what you get. You're gonna get matchups. And like Dan Quinn said, when I asked him last week about matchups, that was one of them. He couldn't wait to see Marshawn and AJ Brown. And hey, that one, hopefully they all stay in the NFC East for that very reason. Because as the years go on, let me tell you, that's gonna be a vicious matchup.
Yeah, I think even after.
Marshawn is did y'all know Marshawn is a goon? And like I told everybody, you're not gonna win everything. He got beat, he got beat. And then when he was trying to cover and do the right thing, they called him on two DPIs right behind, I mean, so what can you do?
Which was bogus though. Which was bogus though.
Oh, absolutely bogus. Now, Coach Quinn did say they were going to ask the league about one of them. So that makes me believe that maybe the other one he feels like,
Yeah,
okay.
what other one?
But
So I
I
got
don't
to
know
watch.
which one he has the question on, but I didn't like either.
It's the first one. It's definitely the first one. Because the first one,
Yeah.
AJ Brown,
That first one was bad. And I told people were like, oh, that first one was definitely a DPI. No, it was not. AJ Brown had his hand on that man's jersey for about 15 yards. And as soon as Marshawn trying to move his hand off of his jersey, they caught him with the DPI.
Yeah, that one I felt like that one. I felt like that one was like the more egregious one. The second one was more, to be real with you, when they threw the flag, they threw it and it wasn't PI. But what it was holding. But they didn't call it for holding. My issue is they didn't call it for holding. They called the holding to be fine. But they perceived it to be something else, and then they threw the flag. So that was really the last one wasn't even PI either. But they wanted to call holding initially. They should have called it earlier. That's what he held him. He held him earlier. Before the ball was even thrown, he was holding the dude.
Right, right.
They were like, all right, we're going to call it PI. So it was like.
Yeah, but I got to, this is where we kind of get real too. I was in the press box. I said, this is exactly where I'm in the press box and not on the sideline. Yeah. Because, see, like me, I wouldn't have been able to deal with that. I wouldn't have been able to deal with that adversity. That's why I'm sitting where I'm sitting now, not with them. Because I was like, helmets, dust, smoke, grass would have been thrown everywhere. I would have lost it if I was Coach Quinn. But he is finding a way to keep it together.
Yeah, here you go. Hey, thank you, Armand. You said, why do Eagle fans say Jaylen's the reason that they lost? I
don't know.
36. I agree, bro. Jaylen ain't Travis. There you go, bro. He ain't Travis Hunter. I agree.
They need to really talk to that defense coordinator. That's just mathematically. That's why I can say the numbers. Mathematically, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, man, I'm with you on that one. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, I get the frustration. I do get the frustration. Like, but be mad at your defense. You should be mad at. I know I would be mad at my defense.
I got to yes. Because that is unacceptable. Like straight up, it's unacceptable.
Yeah, like
it is. No.
Because the coaches are going to say for real. What they're going to say, they're not going to say if Jaylen was there, we would score 50 points. They're not going to say that. They're going to say the coaches are going to say we gave up 36 points. That's the reason why we lost. That's what coaches are going to say. Fans will say bring up some type of algorithm or whatever, but coaches will tell you what it is. We gave up 36 points. We're the best defense in the NFL, and we gave up 36 points to them. They barely scored on us the first matchup, but we're going to give up 36 points in this matchup. That's what coaches.
It was like they could barely score on Thursday Night Football, and you let these people score 36. It was like 27-14 midway through the third quarter or something like that, and you let this team end up scoring 36 points. Come on, anybody trying to hear that?
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Like I get.
I wasn't even trying to hear it from the Commanders' defense. Like, oh no,
that's my point. It's like you don't want to hear it on the other side. Like as a Commanders fan, like I wouldn't want to hear that. Like I would if Jayden went down and we scored 33. If Marcus Mariota came again, we scored 33 points. I would be mad at my defense for giving up 36 points. I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be saying if Jayden was playing, we would have scored 50. I wouldn't be saying that. Like I would. That's not
because then that means that would mean that you really don't believe that the defense is a number one defense.
Exactly.
That's right. That means you're relying on your offense to outscore the other offense, and it's like no, this is the number one defense. Just be that. It's okay.
Yeah, and the reason why you've been on this streak, and the reason why you've been on this winning streak has been your defense. So,
And that was where all the fights were taking place.
Yeah, that's what I'm
With the
saying. Like,
defense, like y'all can't be out here talking all that trash and starting all these fights and then get beat. That's not good.
uh, that last 2 minutes is why their defense should be the blame. Agreed. Mike said Jayden finally got over 300 yards. Good man. He's skilled. He's that dude. Um, what did Paul say? Paul said they got beat by greatness and they now realize JD5 can beat you regardless of what you do. Yeah, man. He was special today, bro. I can't even hold you. He was special today.
Mm.
Um, Armand said we spotted them 2 touchdowns and had 5 turnovers. Bro,
Let
we've
me
been
see.
saying this. Eagle fans didn't
Yeah,
care
yeah.
when Kirk got hurt. There you go. And Terry had Taylor Heineke, but now they got excuses, bro.
Yeah, yeah. All that trash talking, it was out of control. It was so if they were just lunatics out there, and I couldn't figure out why. Like I understand trash talking, but it was to another level out there,
Yeah,
you all. I was like, yo, what is I get it, but like, did
yeah.
something happen? Like I was like, did somebody go with somebody's girlfriend? Is this what this is about? Is this about a
See,
woman? Is this about a lady? Because
yeah.
this is
That's
strange.
why I ain't gonna lie. That's why I be thinking. I'm doing funny stuff now. That's what I be thinking with Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown. I think they beat
Yeah.
both.
Is that your girlfriend?
I don't really
What
think
is
it's
this
football.
going over there with
I don't
them?
really think it's
Because
football. I don't think it has nothing to do with football.
I was like, yeah, this is like Mr. Stole Your Girl energy. Like
I
somebody is
know,
really
for
so
real. Like it's
upset about
wild.
something.
I
And they
know.
kidnapped me about this football game. You can't be that
I'm with
bad.
you.
They get
I'm
kicked
with you,
out.
kid.
Come on, that's ridiculous. I do want to say this about Jayden
Go
Daniels.
for it. Go for
That
it.
4th and 4 and that 4th and 11.
The run.
Yes, both runs
Yeah,
by him.
yeah,
I just
yeah,
I just
yeah.
he that's why I was like, wow,
Mm-hmm.
he
Because
wants to
yeah,
win
he
all the
made
time.
those plays. He did want to
He
win.
made
That's what I would.
those
He
those
made those
those
plays.
what happened in those plays and all that.
Yeah.
He made it. And it's
Mm-hmm.
hard not to want to fight,
For a guy like
like
that.
fight back. Like we can win when you
Yeah.
got a quarterback like that.
Yeah. I totally agree. I feel just again. I think Jay was phenomenal in this game. He was spectacular. Like just like
Even
with
with the
Mike.
mistakes, he was great.
Yeah, it was great, man. He was like Mike said. Oh, Mike, he didn't. Know what? He did not. Mike, he didn't. No, Mike, he didn't throw for 300 yards. I'm looking at the stats. My bad. He threw for 258 yards, 5 touchdowns, 2 picks. But still, but he was spectacular. He was still
Is
great.
he including his rush yards? Maybe he's including his
He's
rush
talking about
yards.
Mike's talking about throwing because he
Uh,
hasn't thrown for 300 yards yet. His rushing yards, he ran for 81 yards. He ran for 81 yards. So, but Jayden was amazing, man. He just was. To Candy, to your point, Candy, it just wasn't. It was the impact he had all around within the offense, running and throwing the football. Like he was on one. And that's why the interceptions weren't great, but his impact was so supreme, man. It was so that to me, like I know they were bad plays at the time, but to me, even at some like the second one, I was like, yeah, he was so great. Like I erased that interception mentally. I was like, I didn't care like because he was doing so many great things, like throwing a deep ball to Diami or hitting Terry on that deep ball. Like he was playing quarterback at such a high level, and then getting the Commanders out of bad situations or bad play calls. To be honest with you, and using his legs because some of those plays I thought weren't great. I think you said the 4th and 4 play when he ran. I don't know what kind of play design that was. That was a nasty play, and he kind of like he turned they rolled him out. Then he cut the field and got that first down. I was like, that's just Jayden being Jayden. But
that's
that's not.
Jayden.
That
That's
was
him.
Jayden. That wasn't the play call. That was
Yeah,
Jayden
no. Yeah, yep.
taking his play
I was
call and
like,
saying,
that's
you know
not the
what?
play.
Give
Oh,
me
that's
this. Yeah, you give me this, and I'm gonna make it better. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? So to your point, I thought
Yeah, we
Jayden.
were talking about that, and I was thinking it was like the play call. I was like, that looked like
Yeah,
this. That looked like a decision. I mean, it could. Jaden saw something, and he went with
yeah. I
what he
look at
could do.
it showed on a replay. So the replay showed nobody was open. If it was a true pass, and nobody was
Yeah,
open. And Jayden he made that play, man. Jay
yeah.
was Jay was something else. Cliff Howell said on social the fan base was getting bitter about Jayden smiling while we were down. Trust the process. Were they really?
I mean, well, what people don't understand is that's just his personality.
You can
That's
speak on
just
it.
his personality.
Yeah.
I think that it. I mean, listen, he's not gonna be crying in the corner ever.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but do you really want your leader to be crying in the corner in the middle of the game? You feel what I'm saying? Like, you have to. I mean, it's all because even for myself, I was like, I'm not in Hail Mary mode. And funny enough, they didn't win by a Hail Mary, but I was definitely very clear. Like, I ain't only had time for this. Okay, they should have just did. Like this is like, I mean, come on, everybody. But it's just not his personality.
Mm-hmm.
And people are gonna have to get used to that, because this is the franchise. Okay,
Sure is
this
franchise.
is the
Yeah.
franchise. Everybody been wanting a franchise. Guess what? You got him. You got him.
Facts.
All right. Adam Peters and Dan Quinn. And word to let's talk about something real quick about Adam Peters because he's getting my MVP. I don't if they would allow me to give an MVP. If they ever said, who would you like to be your MVP? I would be like Adam Peters because now while the San Francisco 49ers have dealt with their own versions of adversity with injuries,
Mm-hmm.
Adam Peters is not there anymore.
Mm-hmm. And you see, the brain trust
Adam
ain't
Peters is not there anymore.
Mm-hmm.
That matters. Being able to stack your roster with depth, being able to understand the pieces that really truly work based on your culture, what you want to be known for, what you want to do, how you want to be perceived. Adam Peters is the MVP for me.
Yeah.
Okay. And Jayden, it's just, I mean, when you see, I asked Terry today about his, because the game day captains were Bobby Wagner, Terry McLaurin, Jeremy Reeves. And I made a post on Friday when they announced the game day captains. And I said, if that don't let you all know what type of time they trying to be on Sunday, that should let you know. They're all very similar, and Adam is just great at talent in that way. It's superb. It's superb. Right? Look at somebody like, let's go back to, I don't know how you say, I called him, I pronounce it Olamide. Am I saying it wrong?
It's Olamide.
Yes. When I said it to him,
Yeah.
Olamide's kids, and he was like, wow, you pronounced my name right. I was like, yes. Now, it didn't go so well with Tyler, be honest. It didn't go as well with him. But at any rate, But even with, let's go like the Olamide, adversity.
Uh-huh.
He had some tough plays because I was done with him. I said, okay, I don't even know.
He dropped that one pass. I'll say it. I know what it was.
Okay.
I have to now. Now I'm back. I apologize to you, bro. I apologize.
But that's the adversity.
Yeah.
And it's not going to stop a play call or Jayden from utilizing him as an asset. Okay, those other plays didn't work earlier, but I'm not going to hold that against you.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to make some shake. And they did. Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah, so when you look at that, and you look at all the different pieces that they have put together on these teams from players that you didn't know their names, really. Did you really know who Tyler Biotis was? Tell the truth. For me, did you really pay attention to what Dante Fowler was doing, Dante Fowler Jr. was doing, or Dorrance Armstrong, or Clinton Farrell, or Frankie Louvu, or Jeremy Chin, or even Bobby Wagner? Now, Bobby Wagner gonna always be Bobby Wagner. But when you start to put the pieces together, or Zach Ertz, a Tyler Ott, hey, are we gonna get a long snapper some love? Like, seriously, can we get a long snapper some love? Okay, because the Commanders had a bad long snapper last year. He was not good at all.
I forgot about dude. He was Michigan.
So you have to give credit where it's due. Yes, I'm giving credit. Please mark this day in history. Candi is on the show. I was going to give it a shout out to Tyler Ott. Yes, I am. Yes, because he is covered and watched bad snapping, and he hasn't done that so far this year. No eye. Because he knows I can't say his last name
Oh,
very well, so he's okay with me calling him Noah I. We have that understanding, and it's okay. Dan Quinn can't really say it either. Noah I. And so it's all right.
I should say, I can say it. I be messing up. I can say I think he's Ebal. He's Nigerian too. But I'm saying
Noah I.
Is Ebal not
Sheldon Day. Sheldon Day has come in. You know, and done a good job. I'm naming all these people. Nobody knew who they were on other teams. Not really.
Yeah, most of the others had success.
I mean, they did, but people forgot about them.
Well, Noah was supposedly a bust.
No, you say something, but it's like you put the pieces together here, and you like, huh? Is that gonna make sense? Huh? Is that
Noah was a first round pick and was deemed a bust. So like,
and so was Dante. So was Dante. He was like a top 3 pick. I thought.
Yeah, I wasn't happy with the Dante Fowler's signing. I'm not gonna lie. I thought he was done.
Austin Eckler, even though we know he's out with the injury right now, Austin Eckler, they've been able to pull these pieces together. Jeremy McNichol, they've been able to pull these pieces together,
true, and
create what they have and mesh with what was already here. So, I mean, and I'm gonna tell you how petty people are. Well, like, I'm gonna go ahead and see y'all gonna catch. Sometimes y'all catch me being real honest when I go here. Not that I would. That's part of my MO is being authentic. You know how many people had the nerve to ask me, "Oh, hey, Candi, so does Jahan have a catch today?" Excuse me. Listen, okay, listen. Yes, it's one of my people. All right.
Oh, but, yeah. You remember?
That's one of my guys. Like, yeah, we cool, but. No. No, he does not.
No. But he wasn't even targeted though. Again, I'm gonna go. Let me say this again for like the Jahan whatever stuff. Because everybody knows I kind of like Jahan. It's not like I'm not gonna act like I don't like Jahan. I didn't like Jahan while he was here. I said this like I said this on the pregame on the All Burger and Go Everything podcast in the morning.
Which one?
On All Burgundy and Go Everything podcast pregame on the pregame. I said this during the pregame.
Yes.
Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts only throw to 2 people, so it's the situation for him there isn't the one.
That's what he was, and that's what was happening even with Pickens.
Yeah,
they were still only using those 2 receivers. That's right.
Yeah, so it's not.
That's true.
Like you're not. I knew he wasn't going to do anything. Like I knew he wasn't going to do anything. You know, even I had a question about it. I knew he wasn't going to do anything on the pregame.
Yeah, because we know Penn State. You know,
I know
Penn State, but I was getting that smoke too. But they weren't even asking. Like people was like, "Hey, get Candi, get Candi." Hey, how many targets Jahan got today? Is Jahan? I'm like, are y'all for real?
Like
none. I wouldn't answer the
question. You know? I mean. I think
everybody knows my theory on that. Going back to Adam Peters, if he was a threat, I'm being objective, right?
Yeah.
He was a threat to this team. Adam Peters and Dan Quinn are smart enough not to trade him within the division. Period.
Yeah, true. If he was a true threat, especially I'll say this: they traded him to the right team because I knew they weren't going to utilize him. Now I will say this: if he went to a team like the Cowboys, which I would hate to say that. They would throw him the ball more than the Eagles would.
Yeah, for sure.
Just because Jalen Hurts as a passer he only views 2. I'm saying like you just watch it. Look at any number 3 wide receiver he's had.
It's only the 2.
Focuses on those 2 guys.
We were watching the stats. We were like, "Yo, it's wild." They only thrown to these 2 receivers. Like,
for real. That's what they do. That's how their offense is geared. So Roy said Jayden is true. People are big mad at him for getting. Oh, we saw this already.
But I mean, again. That is what are they mad about? I mean, these guys, this is not the league from the 80s and the 90s.
Yeah.
Many of these guys, they know each other. Many of these guys are friends. And even when things do get heated, you're going to want somebody that has that. Let's be clear. Mm-hmm. Jayden ain't no high head.
He not.
But he going to talk some trash. He's different. Dude is different. He going to definitely get, but that's just, it's not his style. That's not his style. And I think this fan base is going to take a long time to get used to him and his leadership. But all you got to do is watch the game. Watch the game. Forget about he's smiling through adversity. What do you want him to do? Cry? Because maybe because you would cry or be throwing it. Now, you want to know when Jayden didn't deal with adversity well? Pay attention, use your clues. On my segment on my show. You want to know when he did not deal with adversity well? When he got hurt in that Carolina Panthers game.
Yeah, that's when he got first.
You want to see Jayden Daniels get mad? Because that's another one. Oh, God, don't let him get mad. Oh, God, because he doesn't, Yeah. Jayden lost. And I was like, oh, no, did they show that on the TV? And they did. Because he could not go back in that game. So you want to know what adversity is for him? Not being able to play the God-given gift in the game. That's his adversity. Talking to the players and opponents, he feel like he gonna beat them anyway. So he may as well speak and say hello, how you doing, while he at it.
Yeah, Jay was playing. Jay was playing that Jedi mind trick on folks. He was doing that Jedi mind trick, folks. I know what game that is. You play that super nice. You trying to weaken. It's like you trying to weaken your opponent.
I'm gonna be nice to you, but watch me dog you. I'm gonna be nice to you, and then I'm gonna score 36.
Yeah. He ain't slick. I know what Jay was doing for real. I knew what you were doing, Jay.
It's gamesmanship, and he's just a likable dude. He a cool person.
He's a real.
You know how many people across this league want to play with Jayden Daniels right now? Like seriously, y'all. This is not. You got to change the way you look at this kid and the way you're judging and looking at this kid. This is, I'm getting frustrated by it because I'm like, really, this is what we talking about? Him smiling? Adversity? When he slammed that helmet and broke it on the ground when he couldn't go back in that Carolina Panthers game.
Yeah.
That lets you know how much he loved the game. You can't be fit all the. Did they win? All right.
Mike, Deluxe also said, I believe, they were all first rounders. Fowler, Farrell, Noah, they were all first rounders. Saying nobody's going to be trying to kill JD5 because of who he is. I know exactly because he's such a good dude. He seems like such a good dude.
And what you see is what you get. People love him. But somebody gonna try to knock his head off. Let's be clear on that.
Andrew Luck was the same way. He was. Andrew Luck used to smile.
Yeah, Andrew Luck used to
same thing. Opponents. Yeah, this is true.
But somebody will try to take his head off. Though I wouldn't go to sleep too fast.
Of course, sir. I mean that's
But they do really like him. And at the end of the day, he gonna beat you another way. He ain't gotta cuss you out really. You know what I mean? No. But he gonna beat you another way.
So Candi, who other than Jayden Daniels, who's gonna be your MVP for today? Other than Jayden Daniels.
I'm gonna be like Joe Witt Jr. because I was mad at Joe Witt Jr. Like, nah,
ain't doing a great job. I ain't gonna hold you. They still gave up 33. They gave up 33.
Right. That's why I was like, no, it's not. I
was gonna say it better not be Joe Witt Jr.
No, it's not. No.
Lamar said Frankie balled out. He did. Frankie balled out.
Frankie balled out. He's a maniac. I do give, but I don't know if I publicly give Bobby Wagner all of his flowers because he really is like a player coach for that defense, and helping to call the plays and helping to keep guys in order and doing all of that. So Frankie Louvu definitely gets it, but Bobby always gets an honorable mention from me anyway, because he's just a godsend for this team. I don't think people realize how what he means to this team. Jamison Crowder.
There you go.
Jamison Crowder. Jamison Crowder, because he been down and out and he's had his share of different teams and coming back from injury and he had a great day today. So it's enough to go around. We saw about OZ. We didn't disown OZ. We had to bring him back.
He back for the culture.
We sorry, OZ. I bet.
He's back for the culture. Well, he back for the culture until he messes me up again. Until he messes me up again, he back for the culture. I ain't gonna lie to you. Right now, he's on the Low Rice team. If he doing a couple drops, he can kick off the boat. That's a fact. I ain't even making that up.
I hope Marshawn Lattimore is okay because I'm going to tell you, him coupled with Mikey Sanders still, that is the corner that this team was missing.
I agree.
that is the corner that you're not going to be too afraid of him going up with the other team's number one receiver.
I'm with you on that one. So, let's see.
He did that good field position was definitely Luke McCaffrey. You know, I ask Coach about this all the time. Starting field position because I'm a special teamer, and he knows that about me as well. Yeah, that starting field position. They was messing up the money with them first opportunities. However,
and were they? That's what
they were really because Luke was doing his job for sure.
His job, man.
He was doing his job for sure.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. That was
the offense wasn't helping them out in the beginning.
Not at all. So in terms of the same question, my man Jerome Coleman said gotta be Crowder. He came in and took the slot spot over and has been the second best receiver all year. If we keeping it real. I know he's played 2 games, but the impact is real. Like Crowder has been very impactful in his limited time. I don't know about saying number 2. I see his argument though. He's been really impactful though. You know, out of the slot. He has been. Commander's Army said I'd have to go with Luke McCaffrey. His return set us up all game long. They did though.
He did.
So I'm with them. I'm with Luke McCaffrey.
I know Coach Quinn get tired of me asking him about starting field position because it wasn't too hot, but they did very good today. I know he get tired of me after that. But
this is true. Like I feel like
I think what else is somebody asks his case. I'm like,
why somebody
need him?
Yeah, you don't really need him when you got Crowder doing this.
They're doing okay without him.
Like I agree with you. He said I was
hoping. Did they lose without it? No, they won without. I think
I was hoping today, but I think that with Crowder, the way Crowder's playing, why do you need Osborne out there? Now, if you're saying Diami's going to be hurt or whatever, because Diami's
hurt, okay.
If Diami's hurt, then yeah, I'm with that. And then you got Luke McCaffrey out there. I feel like you give him out. It's like Luke McCaffrey ain't getting happen.
It's going to happen at some point. We're going to remember this conversation. Be like, we knew it was in there somewhere. We knew it was going to happen at some point.
It's a third down back. I don't know if him as a third down back. I mean, I think Luke McCaffrey in wide receiver is getting open. It's not like he's not getting open.
True.
It's just that they don't have the chemistry right now for whatever reason that is. But even the play the interception, he was open.
He was open, but
he was open. So we can't say like Luke ain't getting separation. He's getting open. That's just they got to build that chemistry. But yeah, I just feel like I don't think that Osborne is like the end all be all. Like I think again, like just like what Lamar said, man, what Crowder is doing, there's really no need to say I got to play this dude.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And I want to see more. I want to see Chris Rodriguez more too, bro.
I mean, yeah, you should do it more. I mean, I think they went away from him and maybe the run game overall to a degree, right? Because the O-line was just getting beat.
Yeah.
Because he, that first carry, but then after that, it was like, because the O-line was. But at least you have the options. You could just. It's okay to use your different options. Yeah. That's what I would like to see. Just it doesn't for me. It's not, and when I talk about creativity and innovation, it doesn't have to be 1, 2, 3. So just move it around.
Yeah.
Just switch it up. That's all. It doesn't have to be the same person. This is not B Rob's day. Okay. And everybody saw that, right?
Yes, I'm saying. I agree.
It's not his day. So they went C-Rod, Jeremy McNichols. You saw both of them get the same kind of amount of burn, but with that defensive line, it was hard. So that's why you saw the majority of the passing, because once some of their defensive players started to go out, you saw more separation amongst the receivers.
No, I agree. I think
folks,
I love B-Rob. I think B-Rob is. I think people.
B-Rob is amazing, but
I think B-Rob. I think B-Rob is like that. But when you had a type of game where you had 2 fumbles, and to be real with you, you're not going to be the same running back after you had 2 fumbles in that game.
No, not today.
You be worried about not fumbling more than running the football. Yeah. So I think it'd be okay just to sit down and let
his whole body language, his whole face,
you can see it
the same when he was out there. Just not his day to day, and that's okay. Like it doesn't have to be. And this is another thing that I want to get fans out of as well, is because I'm there all the time and I want to help educate. Mm-hmm. It was a bad game.
Mm-hmm.
He's not having a bad season.
Facts.
Okay, they have other running backs. They can mix things up. And you saw that happen today. When they did go to the run game, if Jayden wasn't running, you saw them use Chris Rodriguez. You saw them use Jeremy McNichols.
Yeah.
It's always like fans have to think in a way of this one or that one.
Got you.
No, they're going to utilize all that they have.
Mm-hmm.
And you saw them immediately pick up on, okay, all right, it's not B Rob Day.
Yeah.
It's not B Rob Day. And that's okay. We're going to go this route. It doesn't
Mm-hmm.
have to be this or that. It's utilize your assets accordingly.
Yeah.
And it started to work because you didn't see Terry get as much burn today. You saw Crowder and OZ after OZ was screwing up earlier, or they were screwing up
OZ
earlier.
was screwing up. You're right. It was OZ. I'm not. Well,
You,
I'm not
but you get what I'm saying? Like,
I
it
get what you're
doesn't
saying. You're
have
right.
to
You're totally
be
right.
one, the two, the three.
Yeah.
Whoever ends up getting open and get hot, go with it.
Yeah.
Go with that, because that's what's working. Right? That's when you see it's okay to go away from Terry a little bit, because now you can see these plays that we setting up, and well, they're not looking for Crowder. Boom, there you go. He got open every time. You know, so and that one touchdown with OZ, that was actually a bad throw. So I'm glad that he got it.
The one, the first touchdown, right?
I think there was one to OZ that I was like, this is bad.
First one to like goats,
Right.
Yeah, he made a good play on that one. That wasn't a great throw.
It was not a good throw.
That's a good catch. That was a good.
That was a good catch. It was a way better catch than it was a throw. So you just gotta use your assets.
Yeah.
Move it around, right? And so it was. We'll just see. I don't know.
It was a Dan Snyder PTSD.
Oh my God. Like, yes. I'm like, oh my gosh, everybody. You don't want Jayden to smile. You don't want to help people up. People talking about Brian Robinson Jr. is trash. What is wrong with everybody?
It's the Dan Snyder.
Oh my gosh. First of all, the team done won 9 games this season. In the first year of recalibration, can everybody just calm down?
Yeah. I agree. So Cliff has good.
Bring it down.
I know, just a little bit. Cliff has a good question. He said, is it going to be hard to keep the roster next season, coaches included? I feel like
I'm saying 9 before this game. Somebody said they won 10. We know we won 10 today, but while everybody was melting down during the game, I'm like, the team was already won 9 games. Everybody chill.
Do you think we'll keep all? Do you think we'll keep a lot of these players and coaches? I'm gonna be real with you. I think we're losing Cliff though, but I'm gonna keep that.
Why though? I mean, it depends. It depends. Here's my thought process.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody take a page out of Ben Johnson's book.
Yeah.
Like people, and here's another thing that I want to see people get out of. Why, when you're having a good season, that means everybody got to go and leave?
I mean, it's just that's what coaches normally do.
But Ben Johnson didn't do what people normally do, and look at the kind of season that they're having.
That dude weird. Cliff is a different dude.
I would, if I'm Ben Johnson, I'm staying in that. I'm staying because they made it all the way. But I mean, he'll probably leave now. But it's like if you make, but it depends on the right situation too. Because let me tell you something. Finding a gifted quarterback is hard.
Yeah, it's true.
Depth, the coaching staff, that we all get along.
Yeah.
These are very rare occurrences.
Yeah. I agree with
There's not Jayden Daniels just everywhere.
Yeah. But I would say this is what I would
you
say.
You got to start with another team, and you got to start, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
That doesn't mean he wouldn't say, okay, I'm going to go and do this again. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But let me tell you something. Not only are these players having a really good time, these coaches are having a really good time.
Yeah.
And you seeing them build the connection and the relationship that you're seeing the players build. They have something special. And you can't just walk away from that after a year.
I get that. No, I get that. I think there's things that can lever. It depends what is your want, right? What is your desire? Mm-hmm. And the thing about, and I agree with you, I do think a situation can change your impact and change your emotion about what you really want, right?
Yeah.
But like the only thing with Ben Johnson, the only difference between him and Ben Johnson for me, I don't think Ben Johnson, to your point, it's still even last year, he was still, if I had to rate who has the higher, like who people still wanted, everybody wanted Ben Johnson last year was still higher than what Cliff's
absolutely
this year. But I will say this though too, the differences between that is that Cliff has been a head coach and failed. So I know if you're a lot of individuals, and I'm including myself in that individual in that situation. If I failed in a situation, and I don't like using the word fail, but in terms of overall perception, I failed at that job. I want to make sure I get another opportunity to get to do it again to prove folks wrong.
Mhm.
So I do think that's one. Secondly, there's only a couple of jobs I think Cliff would take. There's only a couple of jobs. I think obviously, depending on if he likes any of these players in the draft, maybe the person who gets the first draft sort of pick overall in the draft. And secondly, probably the Chicago job because him and Caleb Williams are like this. And Caleb said they talk almost every day. And he coached him in college, so he knows about Caleb Williams. So I think those are the two jobs he would take. But I think also, like to your point, Kenny, it would have to be the right situation, parameters though included though. There has to be parameters involved in terms of his power, what he's allowed to get. Because obviously, if they throw in the word you have this amount of power, that's a whole different play. Like you know what I mean? Than compared to another situation like here in Washington, Ben Johnson wasn't going to get all the power here. Like he wasn't going to get that. We've seen how that works around Rivera. But if somebody say, Cliff, you can have this amount of power, then yeah, he's gonna probably take that job. But I do agree with you. I do think the way Washington's built this situation and built this team, it'll make it quite hard. It's gonna be quite hard for him to leave it.
It's gonna be hard, and you just ain't gonna find another Jayden Daniels. Mm-hmm. And the reality is, the room, the margin for error is so small. It's so small.
So true.
It's so small. You want to know why AP and DQ came out the gate blazing? Because they have to.
Yeah.
Because the team costs $6 billion, and these owners ain't trying to lose no money.
Yeah.
Okay? Mm-hmm. We can talk rebuild and recalibration all day long. They knew what type of time it was because ain't nobody got time to be doing a whole lot of losing. And that's just real. The margin for error is so small. And people think, oh, we could just rebuild 3, 4, 5 years. No. No one cares about rebuilding. That ain't even a real thing anymore. That's another thing that is different now in just sports culture.
Yeah.
There is a very small margin. And so it's the right situation got to be there.
It's got to be the right situation. And I agree.
And if you already getting the right quarterback is so much of what you need. And for him to be like, okay, I'm gonna go away to try to get a new quarterback or go to a quarterback I know and then try to figure out what he needs to be successful. Yeah. When you already know it could go either way, but I would give it another year or two before I would be like, all right, I'm even ready for the spotlight to be another head, be a head coach.
Yeah, I just think that it just depends on
the ownership group matters. Yeah, we talk about Chicago. That ownership group is not this one.
Yeah, I agree. So I just think that for him, it's about who you believe you are, because a lot of these dudes are arrogant. So they a lot of them think they can make whoever, they can prove whoever. Mm-hmm. They could be Cliff could be sitting to himself like, yeah, Jayden is great, but I've helped him be this way. You know what I mean? So
he don't think that.
No, I'm saying it's internal.
But I mean. He knows he's a special, right? But he knows it's a special.
Go ahead.
But he's in a special situation. I mean, you got to think. I think I'm gonna tell y'all another heavy hitter that's on this coaching staff that I think people forget about on offense is Anthony Lynn.
That's what I'm saying. Okay, so you're gonna actually help me out.
You know what I'm saying? Anthony Lynn was once a head coach in this league as well, and was successful at one point in this league, and got fired after he won 9 games in a season. Anthony Lynn is a major, when they have to respond to adversity and have to be like, okay, this is what we need to do. They have some very real conversations in the building, and then they adjust. Mm-hmm. Right. So what again, AP and DQ, what they've built even from this, I mean, Cliff told me, right? Week 1. And when I asked him what was he most looking forward to, he said, I know everybody is waiting to see what this world-class coaching staff is going to do. They know who they are. And they know what, and to that point, right? A lot of people say, what you going to do with so many type A's in the building? Well, hey, put the type A's with me, because that means we going to rock. And if we can't, if it's got, we don't care. We could disagree or we could agree, but it needs to end in W's. And that's what it's ending in. And people forget Anthony Lynn is a monster. He is a giant, and he is quietly sitting on his coaching staff, but making a very huge impact. So I don't want people to forget about him either.
Like because of that, I feel like there's room for him. Like if he and he even what's the quarterback coach?
Coach Tavita
Yeah,
Pritchard.
so I think I want to put it this way. I think they prepared themselves pretty well if he does leave.
Oh, if he does, they
That's what
are
I
prepared.
would say. If he
Yeah.
does leave, they're in a better. They're not in a bad situation. If he like,
Hmm.
they won't be in a situation where they have to scour for another offensive coordinator outside of him. They're in a good situation where it's in house. Everything's
Yes.
in house, which I do like.
Yes.
That's what which I do like.
Yes.
But I mean, yeah, I mean, if he stays, I'll be ecstatic if he stays. To be honest with you, I want him to stay. But I'm just saying, like,
I want them all to stay. I think they need to stay together unless they do something nobody guessed, like win the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Because yes, they got Brian Johnson, they got Bobby Johnson,
yeah,
right? The offensive line coach that was
they're
with
doing
the
a great
Giants. You
job.
know, it's
They're
it's it's
doing
it's, it's
a great
a
job.
great job. But look at these guys. And like I said to somebody before, I think I said it on this show or another show. I said all these coaches been fired before. Let's get it out of our heads. Well, he was fired there. Guess what? They all been fired.
True. Facts. They all,
They've all been fired
all,
before. So being fired is not new to them. But it's what you can bring together, and the timing is right. And it's they do have something special. I see them after losses and I see them after wins. And even today, right? You see Sam Cosmi going on. I mean, he was so happy about beating the Philadelphia Eagles. Oh my God. I don't think I've ever seen Sam Cosmi that's happy. Seriously.
I love Sam.
But after they was all happy and everything, guess what? Everybody shower, everybody get ready, and it's back to business. They don't let it linger too long. They don't let it linger. It's time to go home. It's time to get back to work. Merry Christmas, everybody. And that's what you want to see. Now, like I said, if they do something like win the Super Bowl, then it's like do something crazy that nobody, like win the Super Bowl. Then hey, if everybody like go get jobs, go forth and be merry. But if they be like, no, we gotta get this another run.
I hope so.
Because I don't even think they all have, it's not, is it all the roster that they really want? There's still some pieces that are needed.
Mm. Oh, this is a good question. Actually, I was going to end the show, but this is actually a good question. Clip said, do you know how involved Doug Williams is in mentoring Jayden?
When he's in the building all the time. I mean, he walked up in the locker room the other day looking for somebody. It wasn't Jayden. I mean, I think he's a lot. Doug Williams is a staple. I mean, Dan Quinn and Adam Peters, speaking of which, on Friday, they were walking around with Doug Williams t-shirts on, Super Bowl MVP shirts on. I was like, where y'all get those shirts? Like, and they just had them on. And Doug provides a lot of advice to Jayden, and Jayden also asks. He's a sponge. He wants to learn all day, every day. He's constantly in the building. From when he get there, it's dark. He leave, it's dark. So they are very much connected and intertwined. It's very much a collaborative environment. This is not like what anybody has experienced in the past. So it's going to take people a very, very long time to get used to just even the positive stories that I'm sharing, because
Mm.
I'm not used to it. And
I'm
we'll let
used
I've been on site for 7 years, and
Yeah.
I haven't seen this.
Yeah.
I
This
have
is
not
different.
seen this.
This is
Mm-mm.
different. This is a different vibe. This is like covering. Nah, because even that one was like kind of wishy washy. But they got to the playoffs with Kirk Cousins and Jay Gruden. Um, yeah, I feel like as a fan, like it does give me 2012 vibes because everybody's so positive. Because everybody's so positive.
But I think the difference is Jaden's likability factor.
Yeah, that too. That definitely. Oh, you mean for
And
his own
just
team, within his own team, right?
yes,
Yes.
yes,
I agree. I agree.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. because we know that year that was not the same.
Yeah, that wasn't the thing.
And even with the coaching staff and how they're maneuvering and working together, we know that wasn't the same back then.
So true.
So it's
actually
different.
right. You're right. You're right.
It feels like a different culture. It feels like they're doing. And I will share this. I did ask Adam Peters. This was when they beat.
I agree. This is sustainable. This is more sustainable.
Yeah. This is when they beat Tennessee, and I talked to Adam Peters right after the game, and I said, I bet it feels good to win after that losing streak. And he was like, oh my God, you have no idea. He was like, it was just, and I'm like, wow, these people really don't want to lose.
Yeah, they're invested, which is great.
Like because we all still like year one. They don't care about year one. They do not want to lose. Period. So
yeah, the measure stick has changed. Like now, it's a new thing. It's a new set of goals, right?
Well, you might have heard me tell the story after week one. They were a very angry group of people, and I was shocked at how mad they all were. Everybody, Adam, Dan, everybody was very upset. I'm like, it's just week one. It's not how they think.
I'm with them. I'll be pissed off.
Yeah, that's not how they think. They was very upset.
All right, well, Candi, before we end this show, because we're about to end this show. Before we end it, let folks know how they can reach you on social media and also catch your content.
You all can follow me on X at CWall SE. You please make sure you're subscribed to Bowie TV on YouTube. Check out Bowie TV Sports on Instagram and X. You can follow me on Facebook at Candi Waller, on Instagram at CEO CWall. But I'm always around. Hopefully y'all hear me on press conferences or see me on shows. I have a show as well. I'll be doing my show tomorrow night at 7:30. To just give some more insight and advice and just some more, keep hope alive, Commanders fans. Don't just spill over in games. Don't just spill over.
I love it. You know what
I mean? 10 wins. I don't want anybody else to get mad about anything else. They want 10. Well, let me not say that because they be mad.
Yeah.
So
I can't get mad. Everything's a bonus right now, man. I ain't had this thing with
you in the bonus round. In the bonus round.
Bonus. Great.
Now I definitely said I didn't want to deal with no Hail Mary, and I guess we didn't. And then after that last touchdown, I did get hot. I was like, oh my gosh, we was like in here like fainting and stuff. I was like, am I hot?
He hears your questions. We hear you, Wesley. We hear you.
Oh, very good. Okay, good. Yes, I'm glad that you all do. When I go to press conferences, funny enough, real life story. I was in Terry's press conference after the game, and I was going to duck out of Dan Quinn's, and he was like, "Oh no, you coming to my press conference?" I was like, "Dang, there's something to do."
I remember I asked you this question, and I'm about to shut it down. But I remember I asked you this question. I was like, I'm gonna ask you a question. I told you I was like, yo, Dan Quinn like you. I could tell. And you were like, you think so? I was like, yeah, I could definitely tell. He ain't out here mentioning nobody's name. He don't like you. Like, he mentioned your name when you answer, hey, Candi, like, he mentioned like Candi and everything. I'm like, he like you.
And I think he says other people's names too.
Yeah, you said to other people, like, nah. The way you address somebody's question lets you know a lot about they like you and they respect you. That's the most important. It's the two most important things. I definitely think that he likes you and respects you. So. Yeah, and to hear you say that too. Yeah, now
I was going to duck.
Now I know. Now I know. You know what I mean. But folks, appreciate y'all for tuning in, chiming in. Anyway, you were listening to the Urban Sports saying for ages. I'm tired. I gotta get some eat. You dig? Deuces. We are out.
Peace.